You have been blaming the meetings. But when researchers switched cameras on and off on purpose for 4 weeks, the tiredness followed the camera, not the meeting. Here's the shape of it. Same agenda, same people, same 40 minutes. In a room, you would walk out mildly bored. On video, you walk out flattened, and you cannot point at the part that did it. So you assume the problem is volume, and you try to cut some meetings. That does not work either, because the ones that survive still land exactly the same way. Then you quietly decide the problem is you, that other people seem to manage this and you do not. You are paying a cost the meeting never charged you for, and nobody itemized it. In 2021, Shockley and colleagues ran something better than a survey, a field experiment published in the Journal of Applied Psychology. 103 employees, 4 weeks, 1,408 daily reports. And critically, they did not just watch what people chose to do, they assigned it. Cameras on some days, off on others. On the camera on days, people reported more fatigue. That is the headline finding. But the second one is the finding that should bother you, because it turns the first one from an inconvenience into a cost. That fatigue predicted how much people spoke up and how engaged they were in the very same meeting. Sit with the direction of that, because it runs backwards from what everyone assumes. The camera is the signal that you are present and engaged, and it is producing the tiredness that reduces your engagement. You switch it on to show up, and it quietly removes the thing showing up was for. The effect also carried into the next day, so it is not something one good night resets. And it was not evenly spread. It ran stronger for women and stronger for people newer to the organization. The researchers put that unevenness down to self-presentation pressure. The people most concerned with how they are coming across pay the most for being visible. Now, the honest limit. This is one study in one working population in a period when everyone was doing far more video calls than usual. It does not tell you cameras are bad. It tells you camera on is not free, and that almost nobody prices it. Most teams treat it as a courtesy setting with no cost attached. The cost is real, it lands on attention, and it lands hardest on the people least able to opt out. So here is the rule. Cameras off by default for anything recurring and internal. On for anything external or first time, or where a face genuinely does work. You are not being rude. You are spending the attention on the meeting instead of on the mirror. Here is what changes when you do it. The tiredness in that study was not from concentrating harder. It was from managing an image of yourself continuously on a screen, while also trying to think. Take the image away, and that whole background process stops running. And here is the part that surprised me. People expect to feel less connected with the camera off. The engagement numbers ran the other way. Less fatigue, more voice. Which suggests the connection was never really coming from the video feed. It was coming from whether you had enough left in you to say the thing you were actually thinking. So today's one thing. Find the recurring meeting you sit in most often and turn your camera off for the next one. Do not announce it, do not make it a policy, do not explain yourself. Just notice at the end whether you had more to say than usual. That is the entire test, and you can run it this week. And unlike most advice, it costs you nothing if it fails. If this was useful, subscribe. Mechanisms with the limits left in.